This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
This is the story of a DNA experiment gone mostly wrong.
BJ and Migs. Mornings.
Consider this.
This happy couple, for instance, have a real problem.
How could you? Remain calm.
Out of sight.
Be ready for anything.
The pros and cons.
Do not cross the streams.
This is BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You got to check out this video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com because it shows an LA Rams fan in the hospital holding his newborn daughter while watching the Super Bowl. I mean, you got priorities. You have to, sure, I'll be there for the birth of my kid and all that, but really,
Dude, what a double whammy of emotion, though. And you had the happiest moment ever, probably the Rams winning the Super Bowl for the guy, and then the second happiest moment of his life, having a child.
Yeah, and when it's clear the Rams are going to win, this dude starts to scream, but he's shushed by his wife. And how about she's lying in the hospital bed filming this whole thing?
Babe. Oh my God, you did it! You were born on the birthday that the Rams got. Here he goes, first ring. You did that.
Wow. Wait, the kid did it?
Yeah, the kid. It was all the kid.
It wasn't Cooper Kupp or Matthew Stafford. It was like baby Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
This baby's going to have a Rammed themed birthday for the rest of its life.
Yeah. The kid's middle name is probably Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
the whole thing,
yeah.
Girl or boy.
With the yelling, I was like, wait, who's giving birth? I'm not exactly sure if that was the wife or the...
Yeah. Boy, that is, by the way, the coolest wife ever because I don't know if I could have got away with that.
Oh, my wife let me watch Friday Night SmackDown after we had our...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had the same reaction when, Brock Lesnar showed up.
Wow.
Like, you brought him to... No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? Tater Tot, you're the one. He wouldn't have showed up if it wasn't for you.
Not Paul Heyman, it was you.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe times have changed, but I would not have been able to watch like a big game in the delivery room. It just would have been completely no.
I feel like my wife would have let me watch the Seahawks play. If they were in the Super Bowl, she went into labor, she would just be like, if it was just some random television show, I'm like, hey, I kind of want to watch Letterkenny. She'd try to be like, you know what? Maybe you should wait till we get home. You could watch that later. But something live, like a big sporting event that featured your favorite team?
Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like I could have, and I'm not sure any guy could have, 30 years ago when my kids were born and all that. But times have changed, Steve. You know what? Everyone's like a little bit more understanding of important moments in people's lives.
Well, what else are you going to do in there? You just sit there.
You know what? I would love to have had you talk to my mother-in-law and my wife and pose those kind of questions. Even I wasn't dumb enough to do that. And I was pretty dumb back in those days as far as maybe not being the most conscientious husband.
Well, I mean, the kid's already born. I'm not saying the kid, if she's in labor, say, hey, babe. Can you maybe tone down the breathing and I'm trying to watch the Rams. They're about to win this game.
Oh, do you think he only saw the game as soon as the kid was born? I felt like he kind of might have been sneaking peeks the whole time.
Oh, I feel like the kid was born and they were just stuck at the hospital.
Yeah.
That's
the
what I'm
vibe
saying.
I'm getting. Yeah, but the kid was already born.
Oh,
I'm not thinking like the kid popped out in the third quarter, kind of like what happened with even when Texas brought it up again. We talked about it yesterday in the Migs report. Van Jefferson, one of the guys from the Rams, his wife went into labor in the third quarter, and she had to stretch her out of the arena, and because they had to have their kid. I don't think it was like something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm getting the vibe that the kid was born maybe like an hour before game time.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, in that case, I suppose. Yeah. What else are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying.
You might as well chill and watch the game.
You're just sitting there staring at a wall.
Yeah.
Gotta order some wings though to the hospital room.
Especially if
Bring the Super Bowl Can I get takeout in room 13, please? Yeah. You'll hear me screaming.
Oh my! Someone said it just shows where that guy's priorities are, and pretty obvious that football is more important than his wife and his new child. She should file for divorce now.
Oh, lighten up!
Well, I told you that
with the texter.
Okay,
this relationship's done.
That's
Zero custody.
Yeah.
And we now root for
move forward
the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Just to piss off that Rams fan.
Wow.
That's exactly. See, now that would be the kind of attitude I would be afraid of back when I had my two kids. That texter's attitude, like that would be my wife's attitude. Like, that's it. And everybody that I would know go, really? You really wanted to watch the game while, all this was going. Yeah, I'd be afraid of that kind of response. But you know what? It's a new world, Steve.
Well, apparently not. Some people don't think so. I just know, like, if that was a Super Bowl going on, my wife would be like, yeah, put it on the TV. Just like, I mean, she wouldn't be like, hey, invite Munson and J-Mac over and make them go grab some wings and maybe a six-pack.
But again, it's the Hawks in the Super Bowl. You got to have your boys over. I mean, she's got to understand that. That's unreasonable. I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, big quick shout out to my boy Munson. Any minute now, he's going to be, if not already, he's going to be a dad. So that's very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of scary. Only because I only know Munson from like old Munson. I haven't seen him in a few years, so he's probably the most responsible individual there is. But I mean, I just think when you think of some of the people in your life and go, and maybe they think of you and me the same way. Our friends like, really, you're both dads, really?
Yeah. No, he's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I can understand old version of Munson maybe a little bit of a concern, but he's gonna be great.
But also, the kid could have the coolest dad ever.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Will.
It could go,
he or she will, yeah.
Yeah, it could go both ways, because the one thing about Munson is he was always very fun-loving. It's like whatever he got into, it wasn't anger-based that I ever saw. It was just like a smile on his face and like, why are we having a good time right now in this moment? That's what I remember about Munson. So a kid could really like that. That could be the best dad ever.
Oh, texter came back. I'm not going to lighten up at all. I hate football. It's just a game. It's not a life-changing thing like a new kid.
Oh, I see. I'm not going to like. Yeah. Well, if you don't like football, you don't like football. But I mean, what are you going to do, buddy? I mean, some people, you got to like something. Is there something you like? Hey, texter, is there something you love besides the birth of children?
Clearly not Tuesday mornings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if that's their thing? Childbirth is like their thing. They're big fans. They watch the Childbirth Network. And
is there a Childbirth Network?
They wear the childbirth jersey on Sundays.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's right. That's a good.
Wow.
And then the childbirth bowl. I mean, that's a big one. Probably, that's what he's watching.
The first time my wife was in labor, my mom-in-law took me to the parking lot in the hospital to chug beers.
Nice.
Okay, I didn't think it was going to go that way, but still, I mean. My mom-in-law took me to the parking lot, and I can't believe it happened to me. Wow. But all right. Still chugging beers in the parking lot. Wow. Damn.
They might have just done it there with the baby.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Get used to seeing this.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
I don't even. Yeah. Okay. This is.
All right. Grandma and I are going to do this a lot, so just get used to it.
Yeah. This. Yeah. That took a dark turn. We got a mayor that quit his job after connecting ice fishing to prostitution. Yeah, Steve will tell you all about this. He's got the Mix Report for you at 6:20 on The Rock.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
BJ and Migs, mornings, continues on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. And today is a very special day, BJ.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's very special for those that are fans of gumdrops. It's Happy National Gumdrop Day.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, it's not really that special.
Oh, and also thanks to Kia Puyallup for giving us the Mix Report.
Now that's special.
That's special. All right, how about this one? I don't know anything about SpongeBob. Who watches SpongeBob SquarePants on the show? Anyone?
No.
I used to.
Okay, so maybe you know this day. Today is National Annoy Squidward Day.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like that's every day for SpongeBob, but you know.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happened. Like, I guess SpongeBob was pissing him off. He's like, what is today? National Annoy Squidward Day? And then SpongeBob's like, no, that's on the 15th, silly. And today's the 15th, and today's the day.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Squidward is kind of like me, and of course, who doesn't like to annoy a crab who's already crabby? But he's not a crab, but he basically has a crabby attitude.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be a happy boy, that Squidward.
I do like the guy that goes to the Kraken games, rocking the Squidward face and crab hands, and wears the Squidward jersey.
Yeah.
The Kraken jersey. It says
why
Squidward
not?
back.
Yeah, why not, man? You know what I mean? Someone's got to represent the crabby tempered people.
Well, after yesterday's game, we'll talk about that. But
let's not talk about that.
All right, well, maybe we will, and maybe we won't. But let's start off with the mayor of Hudson, Ohio. I'm sure you know who it is, BJ. It's Craig Schubert.
Oh, Craig from Hudson, Ohio.
Yeah, it's just right outside of Cleveland. He was the mayor. He was a great mayor, but he said something that led to him quitting the job because he was just catching so much crap for it. He was at a city council meeting last week, and he was debating on whether or not to allow ice fishing to happen in town. And he claimed that if we allow it, it's going to be a slippery slope. And this is where things got kind of weird. Okay. He said that if you allow ice fishing, it'll then lead to prostitution.
Why? Because there's an ice hole? I don't understand.
Well, that's actually pretty good. But there's a couple steps to it, and here he is explaining why.
Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem.
What's that?
Prostitution.
Oh, I mean,
because every
very
shanty,
logical.
Yeah, because look, if you put the word shanty on anything, that's where all the prostitutes go, and that's where all the Johns go. Yeah, everybody knows that.
I did get a kick out of him using the term shanties. He couldn't say just like an ice shack.
No, it had to be a shanty.
It's a shanty
because the shanties
where you
are
lose
where
your panties.
Exactly. See, that's the rhyme that leads to criminal activity. All right.
Okay. Well, everyone's like, that's very odd. And so the video went viral. People giving him a hard time about it. And yesterday he announced, I'm stepping down as mayor.
Yeah.
But he did say, I was just trying to be funny. It was just some dry humor to lighten up the room. And everyone's like, well, then at what point do you break character and just give a little chuckle or say, hey, I'm joking? Like, at no point did he laugh. Nobody laughed at the joke. Maybe he needed one of those little drum rim shots.
He needed that. Needed a wink emoji, something. LOL. Yeah, you got to acknowledge that you're kidding around. And, everybody bombs trying to do comedy. So just, go, hey, everybody. Hey, that was my best material. No respect.
Why don't we try it again? Have him say what he was saying, and then maybe it ends with your rim shot.
I'll give him a rim shot.
Okay, let's try it again. Here we go.
Right. Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem. Prostitution.
Much better.
Oh, yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's obvious comedy. I mean, look, when you watch some TV shows, you ever watch any of those cuts with the Big Bang Theory without the laugh track?
Oh, it's so awkward.
Yeah, it's very awkward. And you're like, well, man, why is this funny? It really is unbelievable what a laugh track will do.
He just needs one. We're sheep. We need to be told when to laugh.
Exactly.
Mayor?
We need to be told that things that are not funny are funny.
Well, he's no longer the mayor, so.
Oh, man, now who's going to do all the ice shanty jokes?
I don't know. That's a tough choice. They got to figure somebody. Maybe Baker Mayfield. It's close to Cleveland.
Oh, there you go. Honestly, I think he wins because he doesn't have to be in charge of anywhere near Cleveland, Ohio. He wins, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, speaking of football, Super Bowl 56, it's barely done. And we're already talking about Super Bowl 57. The odds makers have already come up with the odds-on favorite to win next year's Super Bowl. And who do you think it is, PJ?
You got to be
before
kidding
free
me,
agency,
really?
before drafts, who knows what kind of trades, but they already figured it out. The odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl.
To win the Super Bowl. I'm going to go.
Year.
I'm going to go Buffalo Bills. I think that people, they got to be up there.
They are up there. They're considered the second
choice.
All
right.
So you were close, but no cigar. Rev, who do you think?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
From Kansas City.
Yeah, sure.
Bing, bing, bing.
Really?
Whoa.
They still think the Chiefs are going to do it?
Yep. They have the best odds, followed by the Buffalo Bills. Then the Rams, they came in third. I don't know who they ever beat. And then the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Buccaneers.
I don't hear our team in there anymore.
Oh, they're in there?
Yeah?
Yeah, they're in it.
Oh, yeah, we're in it to win it. Are we in the top 20?
Yes.
Oh, well, and there's only 32 teams, so I guess that's not bad. Where are we, 20?
19.
Oh, there we go. Congratulations to us. That's not bad, though.
One better than you thought.
I mean, look, 32 teams, we basically didn't get into the playoffs, so, yeah, I mean, that's an improvement? No? Okay.
I mean, some would just say that's mediocre.
Yeah, it really is, mediocre.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of mediocre, it wasn't mediocre. Mediocre would have been a better score. Kraken got spanked yesterday by the Toronto Maple Leafs. That was not a fun game to watch. I finally just gave up and watched wrestling.
I don't blame you.
That's the spirit.
I was like,
the only thing keeping you alive was my theory, but that didn't last long.
No, it was terrible. I mean, they even they pulled Grubauer hoping that could light a spark under the butts of the players, and that didn't help. It was just not fun. Well, they lose 6-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
hey, there's always Thursday. They take on the Winnipeg Jets.
There we go.
I wish I could tell you what to expect. I don't know what to expect from this team. It's like I really can't tell you. You can't judge by the quality of team they're playing. You know what I mean? Sometimes they really bring their A game against A teams, and then they bring their D game against D teams, and then sometimes it's flipped. I don't. This team, at least, you go to a game, you go, hey guys, we really don't know what's going to happen. We could see a win.
Some would say they're playing like an expansion hockey team.
Oh, there is that. Yeah, there is. Because they do have a lot more losses than wins. Yes, they do.
Hey, if over the weekend they did that skills competition, and it wasn't televised, so a lot of people were like, "Oh man, that would have been cool to watch that if I wasn't able to go to Climate Pledge Arena." Well, they're going to show some highlights from it today at 4:30. If you watch it on Root Sports, maybe set your DVR
cool.
for your work. But they're going to show it during the Kraken Hockey 101 show that they do at 4:30 on Root Sports today. So you can be able to check out some of the skills that were shown off on Saturday and not shown off yesterday against the Maple Leafs.
Look, I am I'm very excited because I really, I want to get the number one pick. I would love us to hit the lottery again. So I know that people want wins, but I would love to, get another number one pick and have two back-to-back.
Well, we didn't have the number one pick, so I don't know.
Like I said, I want the number, what were we, 2? We're number 2?
Yeah.
I want the number 1 or 2 pick is what I really want.
Top 3 pick always, it's going to be a good draft. So, yeah, I'll take any of those.
Yeah, I'm for that.
We want another number one pick.
I want another number one pick.
The first year.
Well, I want them to fix it. In other words, I want them to go back and go, hey, you know what? You're going to get the number one pick as well as Matty Beniers. We're sorry. We messed that up. So take them both.
Hey, as far as weather, 47 degrees, going to be cloudy. Thanks to Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical for giving us the Mix Report. And that's what's up.
That is what's up. And I really like the idea of the 2 worst teams playing, for the number one pick, or even having a little mini playoff or whatever. I don't know how many teams, probably 4, have like a 4-team playoff or, the 1 through 4 lottery people have them play off. And then the team that wins it all gets the number one. And then, that kind of thing. It would be kind of fun to watch. I'd watch it.
Well, yeah, was that the argument with football? Instead of a Pro Bowl, have the toilet bowl with the 2 worst teams, and then the winner gets the number one draft pick, which would be a lot of fun. And I think the ratings would be really good for that.
I agree with you 100%. And I don't know if the hockey ratings would be similar. I just feel like, hockey draft picks they tend to be impactful.
Yeah, but honestly, with hockey, usually you're in good hands if you got anyone in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome when you think, because I don't know.
More often than not.
Yeah.
But, it's rare that you get a guy like Sidney Crosby, of course, in the draft. I mean, last year, it was Owen Power was the guy that went first, and I don't know if he's going to be much better than Matty Beniers. If not, he might not be better than Matty Beniers. It's just, you just don't know until they get to that level where they start growing more and playing a higher level.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm all for the football one because I guess that's very impactful. People always do talk about the football pick and everything, so that'd be kind of fun to watch, like you said, instead of the Pro Bowl. All right. You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't want the number 1 pick. I don't want a hockey playoff. Let's just stick it to a football playoff.
We have other things we can talk about. We don't have to have these ramblings of just you trying to figure out what you want for a draft pick.
Well, you know what? I feel like, we need to get this set before next season.
Who needs to get this set? You?
Probably just me. You never know, though. I mean, there's a lot of people who listen to this show in order to make the big moves for all the big leagues, Yesterday, Steve did get this one wrong.
How many months end in the letter Y?
8. No. 7. No. 6. No. 9.
No.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. It was 4. Yeah. But you know what? You have a shot at beating Steve if you call in right now. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs. We'll do that at 6:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I owe a lot of back taxes. Can bankruptcy help me?
Bankruptcy can discharge back taxes under certain circumstances. Some types of taxes are never dischargeable, like if you have taxes from an employee, if you ran a business and didn't pay employee taxes or sales taxes. Those types of taxes cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. However, most people don't have those kind of taxes. Most people have just regular income taxes. If you owe income taxes and you filed your tax returns but just weren't able to pay the taxes, if the taxes are more than 3 years old and you filed the tax returns, those types of taxes can be discharged in bankruptcy in most circumstances, especially through a Chapter 13 case.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.